Hey, sixth grade math students. So we are going to keep working on lesson 4.2. I'm on page 203 right now. And the skill that we're going to be focusing on is solving algebraic expressions with variables that are on both sides of the equal sign. So in the past, you've had your variables only on one side of the equal sign. So now you're going to be doing it when they're on both sides of the equal sign. So I'm going to show you, in this example, we have a constant, we have negative 5x, we have positive 2x, and we have positive 22. And it doesn't really matter if you try to move the constants first or if you try to move the variables first. So I'm going to actually show you both ways so you'll see that it works. The hint that I will tell you with variables, when you're going to move the variable, is you want to move the variable that has the coefficient with the smaller value. And that's just going to be easier for the operations that you do. So you want to move the variable that has a coefficient with a smaller value. So in this example, we have negative 5x, right? And we have 2x. So if you look at negative 5x versus 2x, negative 5 has a smaller coefficient because negative 5 is smaller than positive 2. So even though 2 as a number, you're like, but 2 is smaller. This is a positive 2. This is a negative 5x. So negative 5 has a smaller absolute value, is a smaller value than 2x. So we're going to move negative 5. Because if we move negative 5, what we're going to do is the inverse operation. Instead of subtracting negative 5, we're going to add negative 5, right? Negative 5x. So that's going to cancel that out to be equal to 0. And since we add 5x on that side, we need to add 5x on this side, right? So we added 5x here. We have to add 5x on this side as well. So we go to the next 8. And now we're going to write equals, right? Because we had negative 5x plus 5x, so those canceled each other out. So 8 equals, now 2x plus 5x is 7x, right? 2x plus 5x is 7x. And then we've got this plus 22. So now we're forced, our hand is forced. What we have to do here is move this, get rid of this constant, right? Because we want to isolate the variable. So the way to get rid of positive 22 is to subtract 22. But if we subtract 22 on this side, we need to subtract 22 on that side. So 8 minus 22, we know we're going to have a negative value here because 8 is smaller than 22. And 8 minus 22 is negative 14, right? 8 minus 22 is negative 14. And I could just check that right now. If I take 14 and I add 8 to it, I should get 22, right? So I know I did it correctly. Negative 14 equals 7x. And now these canceled each other out, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But I'm not done yet because I still have a coefficient here. I haven't completely isolated the variable. So when we have multiplication, the inverse operation is to divide by the coefficient. 7 divided by 7 is 1, right? So 1x. Negative 14 divided by 7, a negative divided by a positive is a negative. 14 divided by 7 is 2. So our answer is x equals negative 2. You actually can leave the x on the right side because of the commutative property. Like you could change the order there, but it is kind of more proper to have it written in this form. So then let me show you why this was easier. 8 minus 5x equals 2x plus 22. Why I say to move the one with the smaller coefficient is, let's just say you want to move your negative 2x over. So now I've got a minus 2x. Now, many of you then would say, all right, well, -5, you got to do this out. Well, -5x minus 2x. All right, well, we have a negative subtracting with a positive. So in fact, we have to do -5x plus -2x to get -7x equals 22. -8 minus 8, -7x equals 14. -7, -7x equals -2. So you get the same thing, but I know with this route what would happen with some of you, because you even made the mistake on the Unit 3 test, is you would say that -5x minus 2x equals -3x. That is not correct, and that would throw off your whole answer. So I try not to deal with this kind of scenario, especially for some of you that I'm seeing are making silly mistakes with it. I recommend moving the variable that has a smaller coefficient. And then the last thing that I will show you is, again, if we would have got the same answer, if we move the constants instead. So what did I have? 8 minus 5x. 8 minus 5x equals 2x plus 22. So let's just say that I moved my -8, and I moved my -8, and then I have -5x equals 2x minus 14. Then I'm back to having to move this over, which -5x minus positive 2x is -7x equals -14. What did I make? So x, so -5x minus, where did I make my error? Oh, right here, because it's positive 14. That would be my error right there. See how easy it is to make errors? So 22 minus 8 is positive 14. So -7x, so then I have positive 14 minus x equals -2. So it's that way. It doesn't really matter if you address the constants or the variables first, but what I kind of just pick away and I stick with it. So you might want to just pick to focus on the variables to get them on the same side, and remember to go with the variable that has the smaller coefficient. That's the one you want to move. So I'm going to have you do a couple on Edpuzzle, and then I'm going to show you how to do this with fractions.